but that's what's going on. We happen to be free because our ancestors were rebels.
Yeah, I totally agree on that one.
Of them. Jim Bowie.
It's a pleasure to be here in South Carolina, where it's so nice and cool. You wonder why I can say that? Well, I just came from the Sam Davis Youth Camp in Clifton, Texas, which is right smack dab in the middle of the state, where we have a nice dry heat. It's kind of like sitting on top of a waffle iron. And without the humidity that y'all enjoy here, so that you can be scalded to death by the steam, but it's nice to be here. I wanted to direct your attention to the young man over here that's protesting, saying take down the flag, and he wants to replace it with the flag of the state of South Carolina. And first off, I want to applaud him for coming out here to stick up for what he believes in and exercising his right of free speech. I'm going to give him a hand. Young man, you're doing a good job. But I want to direct your attention to the flag that you're wanting to replace the Confederate flag with. The flag of the state of South Carolina is a Confederate.
The state flag's already up there, yeah.
No question. As a matter of fact, it's a national flag. It's the flag of the Republic of South Carolina.
I told him that.
Did you know that that flag was adopted when South Carolina left the Union, and there was no one else that went with her? So until she joined the Confederacy, that was the national flag of the Republic of South Carolina. When she joined the Confederacy, it became South Carolina's state flag. So that is a Confederate flag. It doesn't matter what flag they put up, but they're going to have to put up a rainbow flag before they find one that doesn't have Confederate roots here in South Carolina. So absolutely fly our South Carolina flag. Fly our other South Carolina flag, designed by Congressman William Porcher Miles of South Carolina. You can't get away from South Carolina when you're dealing with Confederate issues. That's a beautiful flag. It's a flag that should be and is shown around the world as resistance to tyranny and unconstitutional authority. How is it the people at Berlin, when the Berlin Wall came down, get it? How is the people in Red Square get it? How is it that people all around the world that see our sacred banner as a symbol of resistance to unconstitutional authority get it, but we here in our own country do not? We have been so polluted by political correctness, and now it's reaching down. All of those people that said that you were haters, and all of those people that said that that's a hate flag, are now being hoisted by their own petard. Have you noticed how many times in the last 2 months the flag of the United States has been hauled down, taken off school children, and has been reported in the media? Does anybody know how the people that are doing that get away with it? Because they took down this flag first. It took down this flag first. Then they went after the Christian cross, and now they're going after the flag of the United States. For God forbid we don't want to offend any Muslims. Or anybody. We don't offend anybody. So I guess that means we need to walk around naked and have a piece of cellophane on a stick. Oh, can't have poles, sorry. Just a piece of cellophane be our flag, because we stand for nothing and we are nothing. So this is something that the Southern Legal Resource Center predicted some time ago, that they'd eventually get around to the flag of the United States. Note that I did not say the American flag, because when you say American flag, what flag do you mean? That's an American flag. That State House, that South Carolina flag that our friend wants to replace our battle flag with is an American flag. It is the flag of the United States. It is being banned because the politically correct creatures that infest our society, our media, and our government came for this flag first. So I have to chuckle a little bit when I see that the U.S. flag is being hauled down because it offends somebody. I have a belly laugh about that. It's what the Germans call schadenfreude. You hate to see it, that it's taken away from anybody, but the people that have been pushing our flag down and thinking that we only have one flag, the United States flag, are getting their just desserts for trampling on the inalienable rights of the Southern people. Because that flag represents us. It represents the best of us. It represents the worst of us. It represents us. The warts, the good parts, everything. And you know, it's funny, although they like to use us as the whipping boy, for the country's racial problems. In reflection, the rest of the country doesn't fare anywhere near as well as we do here in the South, with our banner and our Christian worldview. So the flag is a symbol of many, many, many things. Now, how many of y'all participate in the U.S. Census? How many of you listed yourself as a Confederate Southern American? You have that option, you know. And you might have read this in your newspaper. We estimate that over 1 million people saw our message, and we're going to find out how many responded.
I didn't pull it out.
Modern technological marvels that we call the internet,
Don't tell them that.
is exactly what organizations like the Conservative Action Council need to promote its message. I was able to get my message through Facebook alone to over 760,000 people. It took me all of about 30 minutes to do it. Now, they blocked me. I got blocked about a dozen times for spamming, but you know what? The cat was already out of the bag. Once I got to 760,000 Facebook members, then the media picked it up. And so it became a national news story, and many millions more saw our message. Now, when the census is done, they're not going to tell me how many people declared themselves to be Confederate Southern Americans. They're not going to tell us that. We're probably going to have to file a Freedom of Information Act request to find that out. But we will, and it'll be national news again. And we'll find out how many people responded. And based on that, assuming we still have a census in 2020, we'll try it again. But if anybody with eyes to see can see that our country is in deep kimchi, as the Koreans say. This country is faltering, it is grinding down, and it is falling apart. Our diversity is not our strength, it's our greatest weakness. We agree about little, and what we do disagree about, we shout at each other. When was the last time you were able to have a sane discourse with anybody on the other side about this flag? They don't want to hear about what you have to say. Trying to convince anybody that's committed to the other side is a waste of time. No, we want the ignorant rabble out there, the fodder, the cannon fodder. That's who our message is to. Anything we do to the NAACP or any other groups out there that hate us is merely to bounce off to talk to people that have not made up their mind. Trying to convince our foes to the rightness of our cause is a fool's errand. It is a waste of time. It's a complete waste of time. Now, this young man out here who has the courage of his convictions, we might be able to reach him, and we should, which is why our movement has to be based on positive Christianity, why we have to approach everybody that we talk to with a servant heart, which is why we have to act like Paul and Peter and all the early apostles who were beat upon for their Lord and for our Lord. We have to have the same attitude, a servant heart. We can't use the flagpoles, which our friend here, our stick man, was trying to ban. He was fun. I thought he made the trip down here worthwhile. We can't use that to beat our foes with. We have to use it, hold on to that pole while we're hugging them. Which is why my brother, H.K. Edgerton, an extended member of my family, I might add, has such a great approach, because you don't see hatred in H.K.'s heart. All you see is a sparkle in his eyes as he promotes our message again and again and again. And it's a labor of Job to get him upset. It really does. It can be done. And he didn't do it. His flagpole actually whacked somebody in Asheville here not too long ago. It wasn't HK though, it was the pole that was just a self-defense mechanism. But that's the point. We have to